Hi there, welcome back to Old World Home. My name is Hillary, and in today's video I want to share with you what I have been working on for the past week. As you may already know, we are expecting baby number 4 at the end of June. I have about 7 weeks left to go. Now, it was always my plan to have this room be able to fit both of the boys, but it sort of got pushed to the forefront recently when my 2.5-year-old just decided he was ready to be done with diapers. So we needed to have a bed for him that he could easily get in and out of. So his new bed that I refinished was a bit of a project, and I'm gonna share with you that whole process from start to finish. This is the bed that we want to use for Luke's room. So the headboard came from a yard sale about 3 years ago now, and I paid $5 for it, and initially it was going to go as one of the girls' beds, and then we wound up finding their matching beds. So I saved it all this time knowing that I would love to use it for Luke's room when he outgrew the crib. But all I had was the headboard, and then my sister had this bed that she actually got for free, because you can see that it was like someone's project. They started to refinish it, and I think they gave up. So she got it for free, and then she never wound up using it. So she said you could try it and see if the rails fit with your headboard, and sure enough, they do. It's like the same style. It has like 2 metal hooks that kind of go in and then like click down. But you can see it's a different color than the headboard, which I do want to actually leave this original color. I like the warmth of the wood. So the plan is to actually cut down the spindles off of this side, which, yes, they're similar, but they're also quite different. And again, it would be a huge pain to strip off all the stain and get it to match the headboard. And honestly, I don't even care to have a footboard. I just needed a frame, something to support the headboard, and for something to sit the mattress on. So you can see, like, they started to kind of strip it and all this stuff dripped down. So my plan is to actually cut off all of the spindles here so that all we have left is the base frame. And then I need to sand down all of that wood and then restain it to match it as close as I can. So that is my plan for today. I'm gonna try to sand down the rails and then either cut these down myself or have Dan help me, but he's landscaping right now, so I don't really want to bother him. And this is also on casters, on little wheels. So I have to see how the height works if I take off these wheels, if it's going to be still the right height with the, you know, that it will lay level. So yeah, we're gonna work on that. Anytime that you are sanding furniture down to bare wood, you want to start with a low grit to really get off the majority of the stain, and then finish with a high grit to make everything nice and smooth and ready to accept any stain or paint that you plan to use. So to cut off the spindles, we have this Dremel like multi-tool, and it was the absolute perfect thing to use to cut off these spindles that are kind of small, and this just cut them right off really nice and smooth. And then I was able to go in with the sander and just sand everything down nice and smooth. Since I was trying to match the frame to the headboard, I picked out this Varathane pecan colored stain. This is actually a stain and poly in one. I was being a little bit lazy. I wanted a little bit of a shortcut, and this actually worked really well. It's nice and thick. It actually looked a lot like just putting honey on the bed, but it actually went on really smooth. I did 2 coats. I waited for the first one to dry and then did a second coat on all of the pieces, and the color actually wound up being almost a perfect match. So while I gave the bed a couple days to air out, I went out in search of some bedding, and I went to Home Goods, I went to Marshall's, I wound up at Target, and they had a good selection. I saw a couple cute patterns that I liked, a plaid and some other like fun, more kiddish patterns. But because this room already has a lot of other patterns going on, we have the rug, he has a blanket, and he likes to use other blankets when he sleeps, and there's toys, and then there's crib bedding. I didn't want to bring in a whole new pattern, so I actually wound up going with just a solid sort of dusty blue color. I thought a nice dark color would look good and hold up better than something that had like a white background. I kind of liked that pennant bedding, the sheet set. But really, he doesn't need a top sheet, and he likes to sleep with the pillows that he has. So I really didn't need a pillowcase either. So it just made sense to pick up a simple sheet, and then I got a waterproof mattress protector to put on his new mattress as well. So going back just a couple months, here's what the room looked like before. We had a much lighter colored area rug, and you can see the way that the room was laid out. So I actually initially set the bed up where we had this old couch, and we have had that couch for about 10 years now. It was in our basement family room of our previous house, and it's so incredibly comfortable. But there was no way to fit everything in this room. And it actually wound up working nicely that I picked a sheet that was a similar color, because I really do love that sort of dusty blue against the green gray of the board and batten on the walls. So the couch had to go, and then in its place was actually where I planned to put the bed initially. So I set it up there. But I didn't like that it created this weird nook at the foot of the bed where the toys usually go. And it was sort of closed off between the dresser and the bed, and it was just a little bit too tight. So I considered a couple different room arrangements, and because we have this corner window, it kind of made things a little bit tricky. I didn't want to put any beds in front of the window. So like I said, I didn't love the bed on that wall and making this tight space here. So this is the arrangement that we wound up with, and I really like it now, especially since this is where, you know, we walk in. This is the door here. So from the hallway, you see kind of this, you know, this setup, and I think it looks really charming and really cute, you know, when you're walking by. So we did wind up putting the dresser here, which is also the changing table. And it kind of bothers me that we have this corner window, and, you know, if I pushed it all the way over, you know, either way, it just kind of looked awkward. So my solution was to sort of kick it out a little bit so that the center of the dresser lined up with that line of the window. That to me looked a little bit more balanced, and then it's not like so tight against that wall or too close to the crib. So that's what we wound up doing. Now this crib has already been through 3 children in 8 years, and it's still going strong. There's definitely some scuffs and teething marks and things like that on it, but that just adds to the memories, right? So we're going to use it yet again and hopefully get another couple years out of it. And it'll be just really special that every single kid slept in the same crib. So we do need to raise it up, but I just haven't done that yet. We actually had taken off that side rail, and Luke was sleeping in there for a little bit when he was potty training so that he could get in and out. But then we just put the side rail back on. We will have a bassinet in our bedroom for at least the first few months when the baby's born. I don't typically put my babies in the crib, you know, separate from me for a little while. So that's probably what I'm gonna do again. So he may not even use this crib for the first, you know, 5 or 6 months, but it's there when he needs it. Above it, this art was already here because this is where the couch was. I don't know if that's gonna stay there. I mean, it's fine, it certainly works, but that is not set in stone. And then we just have this cute little shelf where we put like memorabilia things and cards and special things for, you know, it was for Luke. So I'll have to make a little bit of space so that the new guy has some space for his little memory things. And then, like I said, I like that now there's more floor space and that they can easily kind of move around in here. This ottoman is also something that I've had forever, maybe 10 years, honestly. And it's silver, but you can see that like a lot of the coating, kind of, the fabric is coming off. And I did try to make a cover for it when we made this room into Luke's nursery, but it definitely didn't hold up. I didn't make it very well, to be honest. So I might consider recovering it, or I don't know, just leaving it as is and let it be kind of rustic. It's just nice to have another place to sit, somewhere to, you know, put your legs up when you're sitting on the bed or something like that. And then I would like to maybe get a side table for him so that he can put his water and books and things like that and not have to have them just sitting in his bed. And I do need to get a name stool for the new guy, but we'll wait until he arrives. And then this art was here. Again, this is where the changing table kind of was. It was more off to the side. So I just scooted that art over so that it was kind of centered over the bed. And then he's got a couple little cute toys on the ledge. But as for the bed itself, we wound up not doing a box spring and just putting the mattress on so that it's a little bit lower to the ground. As he gets older, if he needs more support, you know, we can easily put in a box spring and raise that whole thing up. But everything else, aside from the sheet that I picked up, was things we already had. We've had this blanket since I set this room up as a nursery. It was from Amazon. I love it. I love the color of it. And it's really comfortable. It's really, you know, washes and wears really easily. I like how it complements the walls. And then the pillows, again, we just had on the couch. So these are 2 separate lumbars that I just put across. And then this one, and then he loves his little squishable or whatever those things are called. And then the rug was a new addition. Last month in April, we picked that up, and I just really, really love the rug. I love all the colors in it. I love that it's dark and patterned, so hopefully it will hold up to 2 boys and, you know, creates a nice little cozy space here for them to play. Eventually, it's possible that we would get them bunk beds and maybe put them here or here on this wall. I guess that would probably make more sense. It would probably fit better here. But we'll see. We'll see how, you know, things go. Hopefully he will be in the crib for at least a couple years. That's what most of my kids do, stay in for about 2 years. And then we'll have to reevaluate when that time comes. But I'm just so happy with how the bed turned out. And so far he is doing really well sleeping in it. He loves his big boy bed. And he's ready to give up the crib for his little brother. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been a little while since I've posted. I did a whole month of vlogging in April, posting a video every single day, and typically after a month of vlogs, I do take a week off. So I was hoping to have this video for you a little bit earlier this week, but here we are today, and I'm hopefully going to have more to share going forward. But like I said, the room is not totally done. There are definitely some few elements that we want to add to it. And eventually I have to, you know, wash all the baby things and get them all set up in the dresser. So maybe I'll share some, you know, bedroom organization coming up soon and show you the closet, which is where a lot of the toys are kept as well. So that is the room as it stands now. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new here, be sure to stick around and subscribe, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care, guys.